are some players at City that I don't think are up to it.
Yeah.
Mangala is a quite interesting case in point. Millions spent on a defender that's clearly not good enough. It's going to take a bit of time. It's a very different league. And also, like, I hate to say it, but I don't think the Premier League is the best league in the world. I don't think quality-wise it is. The best players don't come to the Premier League anymore. We can pretend that Ibrahimovic come into the Premier League as his case in point, but it's not.
Paul Pogba's just come to Man United.
Yeah, but I think there's a slightly different thing there. I think money talked in that situation. He's never, no way is he worth that kind of money. Yeah. And I think they needed to sign a really big marquee signing like that, United. Yeah. But I still think, you know, until we get the likes of Messi in their prime or Ronaldo in his prime, because he didn't hit it really till he went.
Suarez leaving Liverpool to go to Barcelona.
Exactly, yeah. Until we get those kind of players, I don't think we can class the Premier League as the best league. Yeah. And I think that filters into the national team and why I think we came with our tail between our legs back to England again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joe Hart as well, quickly, talking about Joe Hart as well. Linked with Everton all today. Is he going to go?
There's been a bit of talk about it recently. I mean, I like Joe Hart a lot, and he gets a lot of unfair criticism for, you know, he didn't have a great European tournament, did he, this year?
I was at the icing game. He did not have a good
No,
Euro.
he didn't. He does make a lot of mistakes. I think what Joe Hart's downfall could be under Guardiola is that it's clear from the teams he's managed in the past and the way he's managed City in pre-season so far that he wants a goalkeeper who's good with his feet, and Joe Hart is awful with his feet, and he's had years to sort it out, and he hasn't done.
Old lead boots.
And he came on at half-time in the game against Arsenal that they played in Gothenburg the other day, and first half, Willy Caballero had been trying out this playing out.
Yeah, he had a howler. It was at Chuba Akpom. He had a howler with that goal there, didn't he? I mean, my thing with Joe Hart is he's got a knack of doing it. Like, every time there's a few question marks about him, he's flapped at a few crosses, he's letting a few howlers, and then he'll go away in the Bernabeu and have the game of his life and do one of those. He loves coming out and being big, Schmeichel-esque and stuff. And he seems to be just. It's like you've got a missus and you're toying with the idea of breaking up with her. And then she goes and surprises you with something nice. You're like, you can have another week, you can have another week. That's basically what Joe Hart seems to do. He just manages to hang on by his fingernails, doesn't he? I mean, my inkling is that Guardiola would look to buy another keeper before that's over. The point you made earlier as well that I liked about you saying you don't think the Premier League is the best league in the world right now. And I have to admit, I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, it's interesting. So you're coming into the Premier League. Yeah. You're trying to win the Premier League. How good a league are you coming into? How good a league are you trying to win?
I mean, I agree with everything Neil said there as well. I think, you know, we've got the best managers in the league, arguably at the moment in Guardiola, Mourinho, Klopp, people like that. But we haven't got the best players. And I think, you know, last season's a case in point. Leicester really showed up a lot of teams last season. And, you know, take nothing away from them. It was an amazing season from them. But it was kind of, you know, they won the league. Would that
happen anyway? You know, would a Leicester win La Liga? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, and that makes it the most watchable.
It's the best league in the world. Use that term however you want to use it, but it's the most exciting league in the world, I think. It's just, I don't know if the quality's there. I mean, the European Super Cup was last night. Yeah. Real Madrid, Sevilla. I mean, they basically use the European Super Cup in Spain as their community shield, because it's always Spanish teams playing that, isn't it? That's basically their equivalent, isn't it? They go, we'll just win the Champions League and Europa League and meet you there. And I watched the highlights this morning. I mean, there's some seriously good players going on around there that I don't think you see it in the Premier League as much, certainly. I mean, you've made a point there. Is it going to be more exciting off the pitch than on the pitch this season? Is it going to be the guys on the touchline? We've got Mourinho, Klopp, all those characters. Is it all going to be off the pitch? Is going to be the most exciting part?
Possibly, yeah.
There's a bit of a media circus that follows the Premier League, isn't it? That's kind of entertaining.
They really didn't like Mourinho at Madrid for that reason, I suppose, that he was more interested in creating some kind of stir off the pitch. Yeah. And I think they're more interested in, obviously, what happens on the pitch. I don't know. I suppose I'm thrilled we're back in the Premier League. It's where we, as Borough fans, where we want to be, and we really feel we can give it a good shot this time. I don't think it's the best football in the league, but then I think maybe if all teams follow this kind of Leicester model of taking journeymen and taking players that aren't the best players in the world, you know, the Dutch league hasn't got high-profile players, but the quality of football is very good there.
I mean, I think the case in point was when England and Spain were picking their squads. Do you remember the uproar that people like Danny Drinkwater and Andros Townsend didn't make the final cut? There was people going, that's ridiculous. Danny Drinkwater's got to be in the... Spain didn't pick Mata and Zisco. Yeah. I mean, and there was uproar that Andros Townsend didn't make it into the England team, and then you watch the players that don't make it in there. I mean, I think that's a good case in point. Back to your prospective clubs, like you say, I mean, how much does it mean to Middlesbrough fan to be back in the Premier League?
It means everything. I mean, we've slugged away in the Championship for so long, and it is. I genuinely think that it's one of the hardest leagues you could imagine because there are so many good teams in it, and every year, you can pull away. I think at one point we were about 7 or 8 points clear, and then suddenly people started to drag it back, and there was a point where Karanka left, and we thought, well, that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely thought for a couple of games, I just thought.
And is it one of those that? Is it one of the clubs where you being in the Prem gives the whole city a lift, not just the football club? Do you notice it when you go up?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think it makes a really big impact on people's lives and you know, on the wider community. Like, I do a lot of work for the charity, Middlesbrough's charity, the MFC Foundation, and that is based solely around football, you know, helping people in the community, whether it be adults, you know, helping them be more aware of their own health and, you know, be fitter in life, and be kids, you know, kids look up to footballers, and when they see Middlesbrough in the Football League, in the Premier League, it means so much because they see the possibility, you know, someone like Ben Gibson, who is, you know, who's an amazing player, who's going to be an England international and probably going to be England captain one day. He's that good.
You reckon he's that good?
Yeah, I think so. But he's got a really good mentality.
Burnley's got to beat David Mead to that position, apparently. He's got to beat Ben Mead to that spot. And yeah, so interesting talking about the impact on the city. Are there a lot more Man City shirts going around in Manchester since the money's come in? Because kind of the thing that it's always been said from the outside of Manchester is, if you live in Manchester, you're a Man City fan. If you live outside of it, you're a United fan.
Yeah,
is
that's absolutely right.
Yeah?
No, well, I mean, I think
that's absolutely right.
Maybe, you know, there's a bit more sort of pride in people being City fans nowadays than there has been in the past, and I think we've certainly got a lot more fans around the world than we used to. You know, I don't think we can realistically say that United are, you know, all from London or Singapore or wherever, because we've got the exact same sort of philosophy to the way that we're trying to grow this fan base around the world, which, you know, it rubs people up the wrong way a little bit, that kind of thing, you know, the loyal sort of die-hard supporters.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure.
It's part of the modern game, isn't it?
That's it, it's part of the game. And I wanted to, I mean, I was going to do predictions, but I mean, so roughly from yourselves, you reckon we think we all agree you're going into the most exciting league in the world. Arguably, this is set up to be the most exciting season ever as well in Premier League history. So. I'd say. Predictions, I mean, I asked the Burnley fans, do you take 17th this year?
I think Burnley fans would take 17th.
But they, you know, I would argue with you, but they both went, 17th, yes please, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like if we start badly, then 17th, I'm happy with 17th. We want to stay in the league, that's the most important thing. I just think we've got a bit more about us. Yeah. I just think, looking at Burnley and Hull and what they've done in the transfer window and what's going on behind the scenes, I just think we've got a bit more. And I could see us, I think, mid to top of the second half of the table.
Kind of that mini league.
Yeah,
12, 13.
Yeah, would be fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, we would be over the moon with that.
Okay, and yourself?
I'll take 17th,
Guardiola will take 17th, I'm sure. He's not proven in the Prem. He's like, yeah, I'll stay up this year and then we'll work on next season. No, but I mean, I guess there's always in your head, there's the two questions, really, isn't there? Is what will we achieve in my mind, and what could we realistically achieve? What's realistic for City this season?
I think the title is realistic, yeah. I mean, I predict that we'll win the title. That is what I think will happen. I think we'll have to endure a bit of a transitional phase while Guardiola's sort of getting used to the league and getting his ideas across. And I just hope that it isn't, you know, too detrimental to the season overall. Yeah. But I think ultimately it's going to be really competitive. But I think we'll win the league.
The other good thing as well is that you're not the only club having a fresh start this year. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the others are all settled and Guardiola's come in. You've got a lot of Contes and Mourinho's and whatever. There's going to be a lot of clubs in the same boat as you. I mean, Leicester are suddenly looking like one of the most settled teams of any. Yeah, exactly that. I think we have a Skype caller. Is that correct? We have a Skype caller on the line for us right now, who I think is a Man City fan. Let's have a look. Richard. Hello, Richard. How you doing, Rich?
Hello, all right, thank you. How are you? Hello, Dan.
Hi, Richard, how are you doing?
Do you two know each other?
We are.
Yeah, me and Dan do a City podcast together.
Oh, you do the podcast together? All right, exactly. So you've been listening to your mate. Do you agree with him, or is he talking nonsense as always?
No, he's talking a bit of sense tonight.
And he said he'll take 17th. Will you take 17th this season as a Man City fan?
Oh, just about. As long as it's above United, it's all right.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We were talking about Guardiola. The Borough and the Liverpool fan here are not convinced. I'm not expecting catastrophic season, but I'm saying, do I see him coming in and waving a magic Guardiola wand and winning you the league straight away? I'm not convinced. What do you reckon?
Without wanting to be too hyperbolic, which Dan will tell you I'm not usually...
The thing is, I know from the fact you've said that sentence, you're now going to go and be very hyperbolic. No one's ever punished that sentence with a really tame...
I think I know what he's going to say as well.
You know what he's going to say.
Go ahead, Richard. Give us your best line, mate.
Guardiola's the best piece of recruitment City have ever pulled off.
Oh, here we go.
He is. Post-2008, this is what we've been waiting for. This is what everything has been gearing towards. With the amount of money that we've put into the club, with winning trophies, Guardiola was the next step in phase 2 of post-2008 City. He's won 6 league titles in his 7 years as a manager. He's never not got to the Champions League semi-final. He's not had it as easy as everybody would say. He took over a Barcelona team that had finished 18 points off the pace the year before, renovated that entire squad, and now he's got to do something similar with City in, granted, a slightly more competitive league, but he finished that Barcelona team had finished third in a 2-horse race the year before, and he sorted them out. So I'm pretty confident that he'll have a pretty big impact at City, but I don't think he'll find it quite as easy, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying to Dan, it's kind of that thing with City that you're not quite that top level of club. There's the different gravy clubs of your Real Madrids, your Barcelonas, your Bayern Munichs and whatever. Is Guardiola going to get you there? And also, how long is he going to stay? You reckon 3 years? Is that enough time in the Premier League, as tough as it is, to make your mark?
I mean, I hope he stays longer. Everyone seems to think it's 3 years. He's got a 3-year contract. And I think the way City are looking now is to have it where a manager can come in for 3 years and the infrastructure in the club stays the same for that time, and then someone takes over after him. You know, you're never going to see an Alex Ferguson again in England, I don't think.
No,
someone like that. So it's got to be short, sharp. Let's get in 3 years, win some stuff, and then hand it over to the next guy.
If it didn't go well, which I know you're confident is not going to be the case, but if it didn't go well, how long do your owners give him? Imagine, what would it take for him to be sacked in January? Where would you have to be?
I can't imagine that happening. It would have to be a seriously terrible season, I think, for that to happen. Or, you know, some serious turmoil behind the scenes. I think the fact that he's got, you know, his old mate from Barcelona in Cheeky Begaristan there, his old mate in Ferran Soriano, you know, he's here because of those two guys.
He's also got money in the bank, hasn't he? You know, Mourinho at Chelsea last season, probably any other manager in the world would have been sacked about 6 weeks in, but when you've got money in the bank as a manager,
totally.
You're not going to get rid of him. So predictions this season, what do you reckon from Guardiola, from your man Guardiola? I want Twitter as well, get involved, at FanTV UK. You reckon that it's the best piece of business Man City have done since the money came in? Getting Guardiola in.
100%. And so my prediction, obviously, I have to go that we'll win the league, don't I? I can't say that and then not say we'll win the league. I think it's between City and Chelsea. I think the transfer business this summer's been pretty good. Still hoping a couple of players might be shipped out, but it's been pretty solid. So for now, between City and Chelsea, but I'll tip City to take top spot.
And obviously, you spent a lot of money on players coming in, but how devastated are you about losing Richard Wright?
Oh, it's terrible. I saw a great stat about Richard Wright, actually. The last time he started a Premier League game, General Pinochet was still in power in Chile. So
just to put it in a bit of context of how long ago Richard... So that is the best gig in football. That's even better than presenting Fan TV and being third choice goalkeeper, isn't it? Just sit there, take the paycheck. Can we get right? That's your next job, Matt Sean. I want to know, how much money did Richard Wright earn in his time at City? And did he ever make an appearance? Never made an appearance? No. How much money did he earn his time at City? You got a calculator over there.
He was there for the banter.
He was there for the banter.
Worth his weight in gold.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, he probably watched Joe Hart a few times and went, I've got a chance of getting in this one. Exactly. £4 a pint, I'm sold. Rich, thank you so much for calling in for us, mate. Thank you. Best of luck with the rest of the season. And,
cheers.
And we'll quote you on that Guardiola is the best piece of business. We'll do a catch-up with you later in the season, like January time, when you've got rid of him and you've got Neil Warnock as your manager. We'll quote you on that.
And I'd say Neil Warnock's the best bit of business.
Cheers, mate. Prediction-wise, so you've done your predictions. Now, I want you to predict for each other.
Oh, all right.
I want a completely neutral. Honestly, what do you reckon? He's right there, but you can be as mean as you like. He's right there, be as mean as you like or as nice as you like. Honestly, what do you think?
It's a hard one to call. I genuinely like Guardiola a lot. It makes me like City a bit more than I have previously. I don't mind City, but I don't love City. I don't know. I just think Mourinho won't have this. I think Mourinho will capitulate. And I thought Man United will go under because of Mourinho.
It's interesting hearing you say that. And this season, you think?
I think Mourinho can't help himself. I don't think he's the right manager for United. I think United are a brilliant club from bottom up. I think everything about them's brilliant. I don't like United as a team, but I like them as a club infrastructure, and I think Mourinho...
It's interesting hearing that from you, because Rich said it's between you and Chelsea for the league, and I thought that's him going, I'm not saying anything nice about Man U, but to hear you say that as well is interesting, because I very begrudgingly, as a Liverpool fan, have to admit, I think Man U are going to be right up there.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure I think they're a season away, maybe, but I just think Mourinho will find it hard to keep his mouth shut, and Guardiola will wind him up.
Which I'm looking
So I
forward to.
think Man City...
And Mourinho's going to poke him in the eye again.
Yeah.
And how are Borough going to do?
I think they'll stay up. I like Borough. I've had a soft spot for them for a few years. I've got some mates who are Borough fans, so... and, you know, when all that stuff was going on with Karanka, I was a little bit devastated for you, so I'm glad it worked out in the end. Yeah, so I think they'll stay up. I wouldn't like to, you know, hazard a guess at the position.
Go on, try.
I'll say 15th. You'd be happy with that.
I think we'd take 15th.
You take 15th.
Yeah,
we'll take 15th. You'll take 17th. You'll take 15th. We're going to go to a quick break. Dan, you're going to leave us. That might be news to you, but you're going to leave us, by the way.
All right.
We're going to stick around with you, though. And please keep getting involved on Twitter @FanTVUK or Skype, like Rich did a few moments ago, on the Fan TV channel. This is Toby Tarrant. We are live on Sky 212. Don't go anywhere. 15th, 17th.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing. Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at 1991 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
So, say you was after a loan go. There ought to be this one fantastic, clever website where you can check out a load of options all together in one place. So you know you was getting a really straight deal. Be well fantastic.
Go Compare.
Oh!
It's all good news, there's loads to choose at Go Compare.
Fantastic!
From loans to plastic, they're quite fantastic.
Oh.
Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
With BT Mobile, you can get online here, here, here and here, and all over the UK with 4G and Wi-Fi hotspots in more places than any other mobile provider. Better still, if you have BT broadband at home, it starts from just £5 a month with 500 megabytes of data. Or you could get 2 gigabytes of data for just £10 a month. Or even a huge 15 gigabytes of data for £20 a month. Anyone can get the great deal with BT Mobile. With 3 SIM-only plans to choose from, you're bound to find the one that's right for you. Call 0800 234 6543 or visit bt.com/SIM-only.
Engaging conversations and a shot at finding the one. That's why I'm on Elite Singles.
EliteSingles.co.uk for single professionals.
Welcome back to Fan TV UK. This is the show that fans are talking about. Toby Tarrant here with you. And we've got some half-time scores from all the games going on at the minute. The League Cup is on at the minute. Burton Albion beating Bury. Fleetwood Town, Jamie Vardy's old stomping ground, are beating Leeds United 1-0. Gary Monk's struggling a bit there. Villa 1-0 up away at Luton. QPR 0-0 with Swindon Town. There's some other games going on. There's some good games. There's also some Scottish football games that I don't think you care about. Do you care about that? No, I don't care about that. I'm joking. I'm sure Celtic are winning. Germany's under-23s are beating Fiji under-23s 2-0. You got that in the accumulator?
Yes.
You've got that. I had Fiji winning that. So that's £5 down the drain there. Keep getting involved on socials. Fan TV UK, @Fan TV UK on Twitter. And get involved. There's a couple of questions we want to ask you specifically, OK? So Paul Pogba, £89 million he's gone to Man United. His unveiling, when he got unveiled to the fans, he did free kick-ups. Free kick-ups for £89 million. You don't get much for 90 million quid nowadays. So we want you to get involved. Twitter, Skype, send us your videos. How can you beat free kick-ups? How much are you worth? If Paul Pogba's worth 90 million for free kick-ups, how much are you worth? Get involved with that. And also with new players coming in at the moment, lots of you got new signings. Skype us with a song. If anyone can find the next Will Griggs on Fire here tonight, that would be... Oh, it's got to be clean. It's got to be clean. My boss is in my ear going, make sure it's clean, make sure it's clean. It's got to be clean, all right? It's got to be clean. If you can make a song for your new signings, then get involved with us. We're here, we're talking Middlesbrough at the moment. You reckon staying up? You reckon 12th, 13th? You reckon comfortable?
I'm quite optimistic about top of the second half,
we talked about Negredo. Talk us through your other signings as well.
Well, there's got this guy in midfield, Martin Daroon, who looks really good. That's come from Italy and is a proper good tackler. I think he's going to be great. We've got this right back Barragan, who used to be, I think we got it from Sevilla or Valencia. I think it was Valencia. And he was at Liverpool for a bit, and I don't think he really did much at Liverpool, but I think he's going to be a good addition.
But he was a youngster, promising youngster.
Exactly.
Went up to Spain, but there's plenty of cases of that in La Liga.
And Victor Valdez is an incredible signing.
Yeah.
Goal.
Yeah.
Guzan had a rough few seasons at Villa, but I think every player had a rough few seasons at Villa.
Yeah, and also that's a bad gig there, standing behind that back four every week.
Yeah, exactly. There's no confidence there. And Negredo's a huge signing for us, and I really think he's going to do some really good stuff. I just think we're looking great. I mean, this Victor Fischer's this guy from Ajax we've got on the wing.
He's been highly rated.
Exactly. Yeah. I just think we've bought really, really well, and I think come the beginning of the season.
If Victor Fischer is half as good in real life as he is on Football Manager for me, then he's going to do what he'll do wonders for you. You're sorted. Is the worry, you've signed Negredo, you've signed Fischer, is the worry goals? Because we talked about you kept the most clean sheets in the Championship last season, great defensive record, Karanka, worked under Mourinho. I back you to keep him out. But a lot of teams have been relegated because they've just not scored the goals. Is that the concern?
That's always the concern, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's a concern for us in the last two seasons, really. I mean, I think a lot of Borough fans would say that the season that we got to the final and we didn't get promoted was probably down to goals in the end. You know, if we just banged in a few more, like Bournemouth and Watford had done that season, then we would have gone up automatically. I think Negredo's a really good signing of intent. I think having Rhodes and Nugent on the bench. I mean, they're both goal scorers.
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks like Nugent's going to be third choice, but having him as third choice to come on.
If your third choice chimes in with 5 league goals.
Well, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Is that? I mean, we talked about, and Jordan Rhodes is a great case in point. We talked about Andre Gray with the Burnley fans. What a player, Championship Player of the Year last year. But strikers are the ones that, more than anything, struggle with that step up. We talked about how good a league are they going into. Yeah. Jordan Rhodes, goal machine. To begin with, Huddersfield, Blackburn, went to you, struggled a bit to begin with, but found his scoring boots by the end of the season. Yeah. Is he a player, or are you expecting Negredo to lead the line for you this year?
I think most people are expecting Negredo to lead the line, but I think there's still there's still whispers that we might go 4-4-2 and we might play the two together at certain points.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. I think Karanka likes to have, just the one up top.
Yeah, I associate him with one up top.
Yeah, and I think Negredo's made for that role. I think Rhodes, he struggled a little bit when he signed for us, and I think it's difficult when you've got a goal record like he has, and he turns out, goes for a big money signing to us, and then suddenly he's expected to score every game. I think he'll do all right. He's got 5, I think 5 he got in pre-season.
Rhodes has got 5 in pre-season, yeah.
He's a goal scorer.
He is a goal scorer. And
it's great to have him.
You've just got to watch out. I mean, there's so many... Your Danny Grahams, your Michael Chopras, how many can you go on?
Oh, yeah. We're
talking of bad strikers, and I talked about Negredo ending up from Valencia to Middlesbrough. Afonso Alves, remember him?
No, I've never heard of him.
No recollection? No?
I mean, that represents the dark days, I suppose, of our last, fling in the Premier League.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And I think that's what's changed a little bit, is we've brought in the kind of people behind the scenes who will, look at someone like him and go, not worth the risk.
Yeah.
Everyone that we've signed, I think, has got pedigree, is young, and I think that's the big thing that we have to say, that we're signing young players who can make a name for themselves, and even if they don't, we can still ship them on and they'll be worth a fair penny.
Yeah.
Alfonso Alves went straight abroad. He went to the United Arab Emirates, which is a sign in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's Massimo Macronelli up to nowadays as well? Where's Massimo Macronelli?
Macaroni.
I think he's watching. Massimo, if you're watching, mate, where are you? Let's get him out of retirement. He could lead the line.
Oh, he was a hero.
Wasn't he?
Well, those UEFA Cup matches where we in the quarter-final where we beat Basel, and in the semi-final where we beat Steaua Bucharest in the last minute, he scored both the last-minute goals. He's a legend, and there's a big picture of him outside the Riverside, heading the winning goal. Yeah, I mean, he's welcome back any time.
What a legend, yeah, exactly. If Karanka folds and you need like a caretaker manager till the end, how about a triumvirate, long word there, of Juninho, Ravanelli, Massimo Macronelli running the show?
We'd love it. Juninho as well. Hopefully Juninho will be managers one day.
Yeah. Is it true, the story about Juninho, where apparently when he was signed, he was lied to and told by Brian Robson that Middlesbrough was near London and near the coast?
It was something like it was an hour away by car or something like that. But my favourite story is that when we signed Juninho, I was in a samba band that basically...
Wait, hang on. Yeah. We're not just glazing over you were in a samba band. We'll just move on from the fact that you were in a samba band. So let's go back to that. You were in a samba band.
So I'm an actor. That's what I do for a living. Yeah. And I was at Performing Arts College, and our tutor saw that Juninho was about to sign, and he came to the class and went, we're going to make a samba band and I've rang the Riverside. Borough want us to play at his arrival. So we played at his arrival, and then I unfortunately couldn't do it, but then the same samba band played at the first game against Leeds. Now, the story goes is when Juninho was about to come out, all the press in the press box had been warned that he was really small, so watch out. So when the teams walked out, the mascot went out first. The mascot was like 6 or something. And as the mascot went out, all the press went, oh my, went crazy. Like, what? Like, there's this kind of 3-foot lad box.
That is so good. I hope there's a video of that somewhere. That's the best thing I've ever heard.
I think there is.
So they were all cheering a 6-year-old thinking he was Juninho.
Yeah, just in shock, thinking this was going to be our new number 10.
That is maybe my favourite football story ever. I absolutely love that. Link of any more players? Any more players meant to be coming in?
Fabio's the most concrete one from
another
Cardiff.
Brazilian coming to Middlesbrough. Is there a direct train from Rio to Middlesbrough?
There's very big similarities between Stockton and Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, he'd be good backup. I mean, no one's going to displace George Friend. He's brilliant.
Class
left back.
act.
And I think, class act on and off the pitch.
Yeah.
And I think England could do a lot worse than look at him after a few months.
No, I agree. I agree. I saw a bit of him in the Championship last season. Do you remember Reading? My dad's team beat you 2-0 at the Medeski. Were you there?
I don't remember that.
No, I don't remember that. I think Afonso Alves was up front that week. But I remember seeing George Friend. I've seen him 3 or 4 times now, and he's a tiny.
He's a class act, and he's a great ambassador for the club as well. He does loads of charity work in the area, and he's just the loveliest bloke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good to hear. We like you, George Friend. You can stay, George Friend. You can stay. And apart from the new signings, kind of who's already there? I mean, your midfield was pretty strong last year, wasn't it? Leadbitter's obviously your skipper, is he not?
Yeah, Leadbitter. I mean, he might struggle to get in the team at the moment.
Yeah,
he's injured, so getting back in there will be hard. I think Adam Clayton for us has been
player of the season last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Danny Ayala were amazing last season, but I think Clayton, if he continues to perform the way that he has, I think he'll be knocking on the door of England as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, quality.
So far,
side.
judging by tonight, the England team's going to be made up of about 7 Burnley players and 4 Middlesbrough players.
We'd do a lot worse.
To be honest, they could not do any worse, could they? I'd love to see Sam Allardyce just go like that. Just go, do you know what? Forget all egos, names, everything, and just fill it up.
Oh, it's going to be Catamall up front, isn't it, probably?
Catamall up front, yeah. God, can you imagine Big Sam Allardyce's first team sheet? Kevin Davies will be back.
Yeah.
Kevin Davies will be back straight away. And Aitor Karanka, do you know why he fell out with the players? Do you have any gossip? You're close to the club. Give us some dirt. Give us some dirt on Karanka.
I don't have. I really don't know. I think we all speculated. I speculated a little bit. I think I ruffled a few feathers and I said probably a few things at the time that I shouldn't, because it looked, to all intents and purposes, like the players forced him out. But he came back. I don't know what happened. I think the most important thing is that the players and the manager rallied round together, and they turned the whole thing round. And there's nothing better. There's no better, ailment than success.
So basically, you're not going to give us any gossip.
I don't know.
That's fine. I didn't want any gossip anyway. It would have been nice, but don't worry about it. We've got a Sunderland fan who's going to join you. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, you guys going to get along fine? We've got Damien, our Sunderland fan. Come on, Damien.
All right, buddy.
Welcome, mate. I called you Tony earlier.
You called me Tony. That's definitely not my name.
Damien, yeah.
Close enough.
You two, do we need security? Can we get
we're
that?
all right.
Right, this is another thing. I don't know if we've got the budget for this. The security guy on Jeremy Kyle that comes out and splits up fights. What's his name? Steve or something? I don't know. Let's get one of them.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer was Steve, wasn't it? Jerry Springer was Steve Wilco. That was it.
Yeah.
We're going to get the budget for him, I promise. We're going to get Steve Wilco.
You won't need him. You'll be all right.
You won't need him, yeah?
No, you had the Newcastle fan on last night, didn't you?
Yeah, that's it. The Newcastle fan was on last night.
We're all right tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm right in saying I never knew this, so I knew Geordie and Mackham. Is Smoggy? Is that the borough?
Smoggy, Teessider, Smoggy.
Smoggy.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer Teessider if I'm honest, but
I called him Smoggy.
Oh, Smoggy it is.
He didn't say
Tony and Smoggy. Thanks for joining.
I couldn't understand his weird sad accent if I'm honest.
Oh yeah. Well, I can't understand either of you, so that's fine. Don't worry about it. So I was thinking about. So Newcastle went down last year. Woo! Did you notice that Newcastle got relegated?
Somehow I think there was some news floating around the Sunderland Echo or something like that.
Yeah.
Someone might have informed me.
But okay, be honest with me, right? And I know what you're probably both going to say. Because I was thinking Middlesbrough come up, so there is still a derby. Is there not a tiniest part of you that misses the derby? Would you like to have played Newcastle this season in the Premier League?
I mean, I'm in a very small minority of Middlesbrough fans. I really would have liked them to stay up. I want to play derbies. It's good fun to watch. I mean, I know you want to as well.
I think it's about 50-50 on Weir's side, to be honest, because they're sort of like honoured enemies, Newcastle, for us. And it goes back a lot further. I mean, obviously there is a derby between us and Middlesbrough, but it's not nasty. Do you know what I mean? Like that derby goes back hundreds of years to the Civil War.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tension between the two cities. So, but as I say, honoured enemies, when we've played them and they've beaten us, if they played better than us, hold my hands up.
Yeah.
And they've done the same themselves. So you can't really argue with that.
No, yeah,
I'll definitely miss the derby against Newcastle.
Yeah, it does take someone away from it a bit. I mean, it was. I was just kind of thinking. The other thing for Sunderland is it was nailed on 6 points, wasn't it? Playing Newcastle.
Yeah, pretty much. that's something we're going to miss. We are essentially going to get relegated now because we won't have to beat them. We won't get those 6 points.
You would have your standard nailed on 6 points every season.
When you say that, they scored an equaliser, didn't they? Mitrovic got the equaliser to end the streak.
Yeah, that's it.
But good for them, 6 in a row unbeaten for us. That's fine. They say 5-1. We say 6-0, so we'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take it. And I mean, there's going to be an interesting one here because you've been in the Premier League the last few seasons, but it's been the same story every year, hanging on by skin of your teeth.
For the last 4 years now.
For the last 4 years, same thing. Have a manager who keeps you up, sack him early the next season, new manager keeps you up.
Madness.
Is there not an argument here? I mean, could they finish this season top club in the whole of the Northeast, in that whole Northeast region?
Well, there's only 2 of them, so there's a 50-50 chance.
There's
a 50-50 chance. I think Middlesbrough's their main focus should be, just like with any promoted team, they should focus on staying up, and that should be it. So, as you said, top half of the table, top half of the bottom half of the table. So, what am I talking about? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Between 10 and 17, basically.
Half.
But yeah, I think that's the most crucial thing for a promoted team. For us, it's a bit different. We're a bit knackered at the moment. We're a bit, we've got a few problems in the club. Obviously, with Allardyce leaving and the FA doing a number on us, that wasn't too nice.
Sad to see Allardyce go. Sad to see Allardyce go.
Yeah, I was. There are a lot of people detracting from him coming to the club. The whole long ball football thing and things like that. But I think he proved them wrong while he was there. He had a great January transfer window. Absolutely fantastic. The players he brought in. All integral to keeping us up, and towards the end of the season contributed to an 11-game unbeaten run. So you can't really go wrong with a manager like that. And I think certainly David Moyes, when you consider the timing that the FA, as far as I'm concerned, they took him off us. You can't blame him for taking the job.
He's got to go to England.
But at the same time, it was a total lack of respect from the FA. Because they left us 3 weeks before the start of the season. The one that makes me laugh
is at least they actually went for Allardyce.
Yeah.
They've ruined Hull as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't even get him. They didn't even take Steve
He's just
Bruce.
like, am I there? He's left handed his club, so I'm gone. Bless him, you can't blame him, though, can you?
Yeah, exactly, poor Hull. Sorry, Hull. So, FA, if you could issue an apology to Hull, that'd be great.
Who was Steve Bruce?
Poor Steve Bruce. What's he done wrong? Was it actually, as a Liverpool fan, I'm never going to say the words poor Steve Bruce.
To be honest with you, I thought he was going to join Allardyce and the backroom staff at England.
God, that would have been the world's...
Because he's always banging on about his matey Bruce. God, and I've been talking about matey Bruce. Yeah, it's Brucey. He brought in. He told me and Doy would do a job for us. When did that happen? That didn't happen. Sorry. There was no job done for us by Doy. He ran up the right flank a few times. That was it. That was great. Fantastic. So no, I'm pretty glad that they didn't get back together as some managerial team.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we've got a tweet in. We've got a tweet. Scott Smith says, have the fans got any thoughts on travelling to West Ham with their staying seated rule? Good question, Scott Smith. You're going to the Olympic Park and you've got to stay in your seat. First of all, is it possible to impose that at a football game?
I think it's quite impossible. I've worked stewarding and I can tell you right now, it's not possible, it's not cost effective and it's not efficient at all. Do you know what I mean? When you're outnumbered so much.
Yeah.
And the passion in football fans, particularly in the English leagues, you can't keep people sat down.
Yeah.
The best you can do, in my opinion, is barriers through tiered seating. I mean, we've got the safe standing coming in at, well, that's Middlesbrough, isn't it? Yeah, the safe standing area. So I'd love to see how that goes. But I honestly don't believe that you'll be able to keep most fans sitting down.
The only way they'll be able to do it is if they get that kind of roller coaster seating where they just put that thing across the lap.
Yeah, one of them. There you just put it
yourself down.
Well, because it doesn't work.
Lock yourself in with a padlock.
Exactly. You must be this tall to say.
Exactly.
But I mean, you were saying like doing a bit of stewarding. That's the thing is, you can't ask these guys who are turning up on a Saturday. It's a job. You know, to go up to... I'm not going to do it.
And a crap job at that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wasn't going to say it.
To my former employers.
I can see why they got rid of you, frankly. No, but some poor guy Are you really going to go up to some, a big West Ham fan, scary-looking bloke, and go, "Excuse me, mate, you wouldn't mind popping down? I know you've just got a 92nd-minute winner against United, but you wouldn't mind."
Yeah, that's your
every couple of minutes as well. I mean, no way.
It's not
going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not doable.
I mean, I've seen it. I've been in the crowd myself. Everyone who's been to a football match feels it. You feel that, don't you? You feel that throb through the crowd. It's a mob mentality, regardless of whether you're winning or losing. Particularly as a Sunderland fan, we sing until the end anyway. It doesn't matter. We got thrashed by Southampton, obviously 8-0, I believe it was.
8-0, yeah.
Yeah, how can I forget that? And we sang till the end. The fans sang till the end,
yeah.
and that is commendable.
Yeah.
And I think you find that in a lot of, particularly in the North East. You find that from a lot of North East clubs, a lot of passion. And again, as you say, the big teams down here, like West Ham. One of my best mates is an Irons. He's an Iron fan, and he's you won't keep him sat down.
Yeah.
If they score, he's not going to stay sat down. It's not going to happen.
Forget about it, guys. Forget about it. Stay here. We're going to talk about both your clubs and everything North East and loads more. We are live on Fan TV. Keep getting involved on Twitter @FanTVUK and Skype us as well on the Fan TV channel. We are live on 212. Don't go anywhere. Cheers for getting along, guys. Thank you for not fighting so far.
Get even more with the Sky Sports Bundle. More Premier League matches with 126 live games. 3 times more than BT Sport. And enjoy new goals and highlights on your mobile. Plus, get a free 32-inch LG TV and a Sky Plus HD box. So enjoy more this season with 126 live Premier League games, mobile goals and highlights, and a free 32-inch LG TV. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2776. Sky. Believe in better.
Can we get travel insurance even though some of us take medication?
Sure you can.
But I've got my hip.
And I've got my high blood pressure.
And I've got... Nigel. Can we all get cover?
Sure you can. StaySure specialise in travel insurance for pre-existing medical conditions.
So can I go scuba diving then?
Sure you can. Our policies cover all kinds of activities.
Yes!
Call us now on 0800 054 2256 or go online to staysure.co.uk and quote TV offer to get 10% off the base premium of all policies.
Tis I, One Sheet. Make big mess. New Plenty is now 15% more strong as bull and as wettable, wringable, and scrubbable as ever. Plenty, now 15% stronger. One Sheet does plenty.
Growing strawberries is about patience and choosing your moment. When our strawberries are ripe, it's a race against the clock to get them picked when they are at their prime freshness. We can get these strawberries picked, dispatched, and into the little store the next day. Well, most of them anyway.
Hello, welcome back to Fan TV. This is Toby Tarrant. Keep getting involved on Twitter @FanTVUK with your opinions and Skype us as well on the Fan TV channel. We've got a couple of things we want you to get involved with. We want to know, are you better and worth more than Paul Pogba, who did just 3 measly kick-ups when he got unveiled for the fans, right? Send us a video of you doing more than 3 and we'll work out, Matt will work out and Kamal will work out how much you're worth compared to Paul Pogba. Also, we've been talking about signings a lot today. Obviously, there's a few weeks left on the transfer window. If you've got any new players coming in, we want to know if you've got any new songs ready to go. We want to start the next Will Griggs on Fire on Fan TV. That's what we really want from you. Right, we were talking before about the North East. Sunderland, David Moyes. You're obviously sad to see Big Sam go, but you've got to get somebody in. Are you happy?
I think of the managers that were available, certainly he's got a pedigree to him. I think he had a really harsh time at Man U. I think that was always a bit like Guardiola walking into City, and that was always going to be, but much worse, obviously, because you've got that legacy, those big shoes to fill.
It's a poison chalice replacing.
Yeah, very much.
I felt from a bit, he was almost the fall guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was almost like whoever comes in now.
To be honest, I don't think Van Gaal would have done as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think Moyes would have succeeded given more time. And he had a squad full of players, and they're all big personalities. And he would obviously bring his own style. I mean, just being a Glaswegian isn't enough to manage Manchester United. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was, I think he was hard done by there. And his reputation was damaged, so he moved on to Real Sociedad, which didn't work out for him. For whatever reason. I don't know if it's because he changed leagues and it was alien to him or something like that, or he couldn't get the transfers in that he wanted. I'm not entirely sure, but I think he belongs in the Premier League. And the way he plays, the way he builds his teams from the back, the way he pushes forward with sort of slow, concerted effort, it's a very strong lineup that we should experience under Moyes. And I'm happy with that. I don't know about the comment from Ellis Short. I don't know if you saw any of it.
No, it was...
with regards to when he was signed, he said that he was so glad to get him in because he'd been trying to get him in for the last 5 placements. So I don't know if that was a dig at Allardyce or something like that. But either way, it was like I've been after this guy for like the last 6 years. So now I'm really glad I've got him. Let's see what he can do. But the trouble is the timing. The timing's so poor. They've left us 3 weeks until the start of the season, and all bits of transfer business were just put on hold immediately. And we're picking up the pieces, trying to see where we stand, who we've got.
It's not like the FA to ruin things, is it?
No, not at all. Certainly not.
They're normally on the ball with that kind of stuff.
I mean, they did it to us all those years ago with McLaren.
They did it to you, McLaren,
exactly.
of course. Yeah.
McLaren does it too.
I mean, outside looking in, David Moyes, good appointment.
I think it's a brilliant appointment.
Really?
I hate to say it. But I think it's a brilliant.
But thank you for saying it.
Yeah, I mean, it hurt. But I think I think you don't become a bad manager overnight. I think he had a really tough time at United because that is, I mean, who would take that job straight after Ferguson? The only one who probably could have done it was probably Guardiola or maybe Mourinho.
A name that could come
in. And even then, maybe.
Well, exactly, because they were inheriting players that were past their sell-by date.
When you consider that Ferguson selected Moyes to take his place as well, from all accounts. Do you know what I mean? So if Ferguson himself couldn't make the right choice on the manager, how's anyone else?
I mean, the thing as well with David Moyes, we kind of base his best moment, obviously the Everton stint as his kind of the highlight of his career. And isn't that what you want as a Sunderland fan?
Absolutely.
Stability, the same manager for 8 years or something?
That's what we thought we had in Allardyce. Allardyce, it was like there are a lot of people detracting from his style of play and things like that, and the sort of players he could attract, who we'd be bringing in. All of a sudden, Kevin Nolan was coming with us. Do you know what I mean? That was just going to happen straight up the bat. Thank God it didn't. And he retired, bless him. I think he's retired, isn't he? Semi-retired?
Yeah.
He's coming back out for the England squad.
Oh, is he? Yeah, why not? Alongside Andy Carroll and Mark Noble and Jermaine Defoe.
Mark Noble's nailed on England captain. He's nailed on
straight
England
up,
captain.
pretty much.
Yeah, Kevin Nolan will be there.
I'll put a bet on it right now.
JJ Koch has changed his nationality.
Tal Ben-Ayew. Yeah, exactly. All of that lot. We got a tweet in from James. He says Sunderland will be okay under Moyes, but would have preferred Big Sam to stay. And is that the fair? So, like I said, you had to replace Big Sam. So you're happy with Moyes as a replacement. But if you could have chosen Big Sam not going at all, would you have stuck with that?
I think I'd have gone, to be honest with you, I'd probably gone for Moyes.
Really?
If he'd been given the same amount of time that Allardyce was. But I wouldn't have gone for him to keep us in the table, to keep us in the league, to get us up the table, as it were. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think he's a firefighter like that. Sam Allardyce certainly is, and he's proven that, and he came in and did a fantastic job for us, and as I've said, no one can blame him for wanting that job. Every England player or every English player dreams of playing for England, thereby every English manager would dream of managing England. It must be an honour. But certainly Moyes wouldn't have been the right man for the job at the time. But if we could have got him in 2 years ago, then that would have been great. If we could have got him instead of like when we were in a stable position. But over the years, it's been so hard to be in a stable position. At the beginning of the season, we always seem to get shafted, for lack of a better word.
Use it. It works. We've got a Skype caller on. Who have we got on Skype at the moment here? Michael on Skype. Hello, Michael. How you doing, mate? You all right?
I can just about see myself.
Yeah, it's a bit dingy in your room. What are those post-it notes behind you? What you got going on those post-it notes?
That was for university, actually. I've never bothered to take them down since I've left because I'm lazy. It was for media law stuff. It's not very interesting.
It adds character.
Oh, yeah.
I can only see you from the neck up, so I don't know which team you support. Who's your team?
Hang on.
There we go. There we go. I recognise that. I recognise that. You're outnumbered.
That's actually one of my favourite kits, although I don't think they'd release them anymore.
No? But you've still got one?
Probably not, unless you got them on eBay for like a tenner.
Well, now that you've modelled one, I'm sure they're going to come flooding back.
I wouldn't go that far.
We've been talking about, so Big Sam, obviously, FA. Are you happy with the FA?
How can I express this without swearing?
It's difficult.
It's difficult. He struggled.
It obviously wasn't a situation the club envisaged or that they probably shouldn't have been put through, to be honest. I'm a little bit annoyed that Allardyce has gone, obviously, but like was said earlier, you can't blame him for wanting to take it. He's probably wanted that his whole managerial career or something.
Yeah.
So, you know,
he hasn't been quiet about it
and to be
either.
honest, he's probably not going to get that offered again after this chance. So, you know, good luck to him. That's all
I
can
don't
say.
think anybody's begrudging Big Sam for taking that gig at all. Obviously, it's just Sunderland fans. It's a bit of a nightmare. David Moyes, happy?
Yeah, I am. I think certainly when Allardyce left, he was the person I wanted straight away because although I think a lot of people judge him on what he did in his last 2 clubs, they're completely different situations to Sunderland. And I think if you compare what he did at Everton, yes, that was a good few years ago, but hopefully he'd offer that to us. But right now at the minute, it's not looking so great, but hopefully that'll change.
Is the key word stability? Is that what Sunderland fans want?
You have no idea how often that word gets used.
When I said, I've never seen a guy's eyes light up just at the word stability in my life. Such a bland, unexciting word, and it was amazing. There's joy in his face there.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I've been wanting stability for the last few years. I mean, for me...
We're talking about football here. He's not going deep here, is he? You know.
I'll try not to. I'll try not bore your viewers too much. But, no, I think stability I've wanted for quite some time because for me, we're not a club that should be just fighting to stay in the Premier League, if that makes any sense. I know we've obviously had pretty rubbish teams over the last couple of years, but if you look at the team we had at the end of last year, there was a lot of promise that we would get stability this year. And then obviously the Allardyce England thing happened. But, you know, stability, like you said, that's just what we want. We don't want to be in a relegation scrap. We're not asking to be in the Champions League or anything because we know we're never going to get there. But
we will.
You know.
Don't worry about that, mate. We will.
You'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be there.
One day. Keep chin up.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, I like it. I like this. So this season, Moyes, we all agree, you know, in the future we think is a good choice and give you a bit of stability. But this season, is it still just avoid relegation?
It has to be at this point. At this stage that we're in now with our transfer business, it has to be. I mean, we have to hit the ground running. We've got Man City first match. We've got the Borough Derby next match. We have to take as many points as we can from those. Obviously, if we can take 3 from Man City, don't know how we'll manage that. But if we can, that'd be brilliant.
It's been the start of seasons recently that have killed you as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what makes us collectively angry at the FA. I don't know if there are any Sunderland fans out there who aren't angry at the FA, but I know there's a lot who are.
No, I couldn't tell.
But yeah, that's something that I think they should be held completely accountable for that, because we had a steady bearing. We were on a steady bearing, and we knew what we wanted. We knew, to an extent, what we were going to get and what the plans were, transfer-wise. Do you know what I mean? But it's all every transfer put on hold until that's fixed, until England's sorted out. Do you know what I mean? And if he thinks they're going to do anything apart from put a piece of paper in front of him with like 5 Spurs players, 5 Arsenal players, 5 Man U players, and just go win the World Cup, he's mad.
Yeah,
he's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
But you can't blame him for trying.
Yeah,
at the end of the day. So
I agree. Thank you so much for Skyping us and getting involved. Skype us again, please, and take down those post-it notes. It's ridiculous. They've been there for years. All right? Cheers, mate.
I'll remember to.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. Good luck with the rest of the season, mate.
Cheers, well, I hope so.
We've got a tweet here as well. Jamie says, good to see Borough back in the Premier League. What do they need to do to compete with the big boys? I'm going to address that to you. We're going to go to a quick break, though. Don't go anywhere. We're live on Fan TV. Keep tweeting us at Fan TV UK and Skype us like that man did on the Fan TV channel. Cheers, guys. Stick around. We're going to do predictions in a sec and get you.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing. Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at 1991 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
So, say you was after a loan go. There ought to be this one fantastic, clever website where you can check out a load of options all together in one place. So you know you was getting a really straight deal. Be well fantastic.
Go compare.
Oh!
It's all good news, there's loads to choose at Go Compare.
Fantastic!
From loans to plastic, they're quite fantastic. Oh. Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
With BT Mobile, you can get online here, here, here and here, and all over the UK with 4G and Wi-Fi hotspots in more places than any other mobile provider. Better still, if you have BT broadband at home, it starts from just £5 a month with 500 megabytes of data. Or you could get 2 gigabytes of data for just £10 a month. Or even a huge 15 gigabytes of data for £20 a month. Anyone can get the great deal with BT Mobile. With 3 SIM-only plans to choose from, you're bound to find the one that's right for you. Call 0800 234 6543 or visit bt.com/SIM-only.
Engaging conversations and a shot at finding the one. That's why I'm on Elite Singles.
EliteSingles.co.uk for single professionals.
Welcome back to Fan TV. We are live on Sky 212, Facebook Live and YouTube. And before the break, Jamie tweeted us to say it is good to see Borough back in the Premier League. What do they need to do to compete with the big boys? What do they need to do to compete with the big boys?
I think just kind of stick to the philosophy that Karanka's trying to set out, which is that the whole team works for each other. Rely on the fact that we had good players, good enough for the Premier League in the first place, and we've brought in some brilliant young signings. I think just go for it, like our chairman, Steve.
You've been confident all night, to be fair, that you're ready. Confident. You're ready for the Premier League.
I think we are. I think the Championship is a breeding ground for teams who are hungry to do well. In like Southampton's a case in point. Leicester.
Yeah, Swansea have not so much last season, but they came up and they solidified.
Hit the ground running.
That's the dream, isn't it? When you come up, you want to be right. Let's be in the Premier for the next 3 years and be there and become a name. That, I mean, the Southampton now. It's crazy to think that they were ever not in the Premier League. They seem so synonymous with the league, don't they? Yeah. And that's kind of, I guess, and you're confident you can do that?
Yeah, and I think you look at the Southampton model is that every time they sign someone, you know that it's going to be a fairly good player. It's going to be a player that can make a name for themselves in the Premier League, and that's all about the scouting, surely, and the infrastructure around the club, and I think ours is really good.
Yeah, and you spent a bit of money. Sunderland haven't spent as much money in that.
I don't think we've got any money, mate. From the looks of it, we might as well have a whip round we're side. I was talking to lads about it, like, this is just terrible. Don't know what's going on here, but yeah, I think we're in a lot of debt.
Go on, say the name of the one player you've signed this summer.
Jibajili?
Say it.
Jibajili? I know his name's Papi.
The first name's Papi Digibalogi. Digibalogi.
He's brilliant.
Gibalogi.
Well,
I need it in front of me. It's going to take me a while to get used to it.
It'd cost you a fortune on the back of your shirt, wouldn't it? He's worth a lot on Scrabble. Is he worth £8 million, do you know?
Apparently his valuation was a couple of million underneath that.
Oh, really?
With regards to what he's actually there for, because when he first came in, no one really knew anything about it. It sort of just happened. We were waiting for a transfer, and normally there's a large build-up, but it just happened. So there was a lot of talk of a central back three with Kabul, Kone, and Pappy, let's call him.
Yeah. P-Dog, if you like.
And then with some attacking wing-backs sort of thing, and that looked promising, especially under Moyes and the way he likes to play. But transfer-wise, apart from that, we're looking at, supposedly, we're in talks with Man U for Paddy McNair and Donald Love.
I think they're gone.
Yeah,
they signed already? Because I was trying to keep track of it in the green room, but I couldn't.
They're gone. I think they've.
Oh, right, well, there you go then. We've got those two. I'm up to date, so everyone knows.
They had the choice between Burnley and Sunderland. They chose Burnley. How does that make you feel? On that signing of Papi Digibalogi,
that'll do.
I'm settling with Papi Digibalogi, which definitely wasn't right. And I really like it.
Papi D.
Papa D.
It's Papi D.
Sounds like a rapper from the 80s. Tweet us at FanTV UK. Hardest names to pronounce that you've signed. It could be any club, any league. Hardest player you've signed this season to get on the back of your shirt. I've got a tweet here, and I've just seen it come up, right? And I know the person that's tweeted me. And the guys in the gallery don't know this, but you've sent a tweet through from somebody I know very well. This is my brother-in-law, Adam Ali Khan. He says, "Where can I buy Toby's shirt from?"
It's a nice shirt, to be fair.
It's really nice.
Adam, you couldn't pull it off, mate. You couldn't pull it off. It's actually a piece of Luke clothing. It's a piece of Luke clothing. I'll give them a plug right now because they very kindly gave me this T-shirt, Adam, before you so rudely insulted it. Do you know what, as well? I honestly, I looked at this in the mirror this morning and I went, I know a few mates are watching tonight. That's not going unnoticed for 3 hours.
It's nice. It's a nice
Cheers,
song.
Adam, mate. Cheers for tuning in. Thing. Thank you, mate. Right, we're just a note to gallery. We're never accepting a tweet from Adam Ali Khan ever again. Can we make that? Actually, we will accept a video. Adam backs himself as a bit of a footballer, right? He's hopeless. I play with him every Tuesday. He's hopeless.
How are you then?
What was that?
How are you?
I'm not great, I'm not going to lie to you.
Hopeful.
Yeah, but I want to see more than 3 kick-ups from you, Adam, right? How much are you worth? If Paul Pogba's worth 89 million, how much are you worth, Adam? I'll tell you that my sister will tell you he ain't worth a lot. He ain't worth nothing. So all in all, it's quite interesting seeing this too, because you couldn't really be more different in a way. You've got a club that have survived the last couple of seasons and not spent any money, a team that's just come up and spent some money. I want some predictions very quickly. Right. I'll tell you what are each other going to do very quickly? How are Middlesbrough going to do?
I think they'll stay up.
Yeah.
Based on their defensive ability and based on, I think potentially, as we said earlier, Jordan Rhodes, he has a lot of potential there. Do you know what I mean? I think I'd give them something like 15th.
15th, yeah. And very quickly, Sunderland.
Go on, stick the knife in.
Go on.
Look,
here you go.
I tell you what, I like you a lot, and you're the only Sunderland fan I've ever met I liked.
Yeah.
That's not true, so much. But I think you're going to struggle. I think
really? Sunderland struggle?
Yeah.
No.
But I think this could be the year.
Never heard of that.
Oh, really?
You think it would be the year?
Yeah, and I feel really sorry, but I think Moyes will bring you straight back up again.
Oh, God, don't say that. You've really depressed me now. What do you know? I don't.
You two were getting along so well, and then it finished like this.
Yeah, it's not nice.
We're going to have to say goodbye to our Middlesbrough fan, but
thanks a lot.
Stick with us. I'm sure we'll talk to you later on the season as well, and you're going to stay with us.
Yeah.
We are going to look at that handshake live on TV.
See you
We're
in a
making
few
friends
weeks,
on
mate.
Fan TV. Bye.
Take
Bye. Good luck in the season, mate.
Cheers.
We're going to take a quick break. This is Fan TV UK live on 212, and if you could restart your Facebook and your YouTube right now. If you're watching us on Facebook and YouTube, if you could restart that and join us after the break. Thanks very much. Right, what happened? What did you say? He's gone.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed...
Before the break, we had a Middlesbrough fan with us. I'm sorry about that. Tried to put you through that.
It's all right. As I say, at least you didn't have me on yesterday.
Yeah, the Newcastle fan was yesterday, yeah.
And again, I don't know if he'd have been able to hack it more than I could, so...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would have been horrible for both of you, yeah. And his parting gift, you guys